our third annual Hammerdown Online Competition. It's Judgement Day.
2 years ago we had 68 entrants. Last year we had 115. And this year we've got 174.
Yep, so a new record. It's been harder than ever to whittle these down to a final top 10, but we have just about done it. We've had thrash metal, metalcore, hard rock, indie, a whole range of different stuff.
We're gonna have to whittle down these last 10 for 2 spaces at Hammerdown Festival this year.
And there's also gonna be a runner-up who gets the chance to play the Hammerdown warm-up show on the 5th of July. Let's get into it. On our judging panel this time around, we've got Stephen Sheldrake from The Factory Live in Worthing, the marketing and programme manager. We've got Shanice, who is our new full-time client manager at Hammerdown Online Management. We've got Sam, who's just a man. We've got me. We've got we've got Adam Leader from In Search of Sun, who is also one of the best content creators I know and a film director. And we've got Luke, drummer of Esoterica, who is playing the biggest show of their career later on this year at Shepherd's Bush Empire. It's going to be a very, very exciting occasion. That's the panel.
I like Harry sometimes.
Thank you. All right, so very first band of the day, we've got 40,000 Leagues is what they're called. They're performing at a venue in Manchester. Very good performance. They're pretty cool. So let's see what you think.
Put in my top 10.
Yeah, well, that's the fact. The reason at the top of the list, I'm pretty sure when the three of us went through it initially, they were the first one that all three put in our top 10s, weren't they? So, alright, so up next, we've got a band from Scotland. Prog metal? Would you describe them as a prog metal band? They're called Those Made Broken. So good.
So different.
Yeah, I'm excited.
First.
Yeah, very, very different to last time. I just think he's got such a good voice, that kid.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. But he certainly carried it.
Yeah,
really carries it, man. That's just strong. Really
well, I think that's why the song's written that way, because it's quite. There's lots of intentional gaps, isn't there? Lots of vocal by itself, lots of just vocal and drums, and yeah, I think it's brilliant. All right, okay. So next up, we've got a band from the Bristol area. They're called Land Captains.
Ahoy!
Ahoy, indeed. Great energy in this video.
She breathes, and as a vocalist and a frontwoman, she breathes this air of fucking like confidence.
Yeah.
And her voice, man, like that grit, like that. I watched. You know, we're watching some like phone footage video, and I got excited.
Yeah.
You know, that was cool as fuck, man. And the rest of the band, like the energy, yellow sunglasses, stage right.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
Solid sunglass game.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a band called Omega Bad. Let's give this a go. Shanice, you like this one a lot, didn't you?
I did.
Very catchy song, very, very catchy song.
to Pizza Hut. We're sponsored by them this year. Domino's, horrible. We don't like them anymore.
And who else do we hate?
Oh, Papa John's.
You're gone. They're gone.
Yeah.
Alright, next up, we've got a band called the Dead 13 performing at Lovestock. Let's check this one out. Let's see what you think. He's got a great scream, this guy. That was the Dead 13, and next up we've got a band called Monochrome. That's just ruined everybody's afternoon today.
That was fucking killer, dude. That's
It's a fucking great scream.
Yeah.
she like, you know what, at the beginning of, well, okay, so like the vibe that, can't talk, as soon as it kicked in, right, as soon as it started, there was like this element of fucking darkness to her, right, to like, it was really fucking cool. And then those screams, man, it was awesome.
Next up, a sort of, how would I describe them? Pop punk, alt rock, Brit rock, something like that. Our City Fires, they're called. I think the amount of energy they squeeze out of such a tiny stage is the most important thing for me. I think that it's very, very easy on a big stage to run about and stuff, but crucially, all of the other members of the band look like they're actually enjoying themselves. Bassist in particular was vibing, he was having a great time. So next up, we've got a band, power metal. What do you think? Power metal sort of thing. They're called Stormborn. They're absolutely fantastic. Okay, so the next band we've got,
Much to think about.
I believe they're from Belfast, I think that's correct. They're called Archives, a metalcore band. Absolutely excellent performance here. They've sent us a full set, so obviously we're only going to watch the first song, but let's begin. Alright, that was Archives. Thoughts, everybody?
Heavy.
Great.
Brutal.
It's really well mixed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what venue that is. Did that sound coming through the
Voodoo
phone?
Lounge, Belfast.
So Voodoo Lounge in Belfast. Was it just the sound was coming from a phone or whatever, or like from a camera or whatever? It wasn't. That wasn't.
It is like done from the desk, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Sound
Yeah.
booth, yeah.
I have to say, I think that's one of the tightest of all of them.
Yes.
So the last one of the live ones that we've got, another band from Scotland. This time it's Deadfire, performing at exactly the same festival as Those Made Broken by the looks of it. Yeah, very, very good indeed.
I love that bass.
Yeah, the bass lines are fantastic.
So fun.
The judging process is really interesting because we're all coming at it from different angles. Like, you've got two amazing musicians over there. My background is marketing and running the venue and looking at, you know, a band's brand and what makes them unique, what's going to make them stand out. And you're looking at your festival, and so all these bands had such a different variety of genres. It was amazing. We were discussing about how one would fit in well with your particular headlines this year compared to maybe slightly heavier metalcore stuff previously. So there's so many different elements that you have to consider, which is why we need to discuss about this.
What I find really interesting is how we can, in the process when we're pitching them against 170 other bands, we go, that's definitely top 10 worthy.
Yeah.
And now that we're sitting here, some of the ones that we were like, oh yeah, they're going to get in the top 10, we've quite easily ruled out of the top 10 here because it's pitched against all the other best.
But like, the point is I don't think, to your point earlier about sounding like the headline act, I don't think people go to a festival wanting to see an entire day of the same thing. I think they want to see, I think most people have at least a slightly varied taste of music. They want to see like a load of different stuff. I think they'd rather see 10 really great bands that are in completely different genres than 10 bands that were okay in exactly the same genre.
We have made the difficult decisions. We've whittled 3 bands out. We've got 7 left, so we're going to move on to the next stage. We're going to watch some, find some music videos, and for any of the poor quality of the footage, we're going to be able to see things like the songwriting a little bit better in that, and then we'll see if we can whittle out any more after that stage. So we've managed to very painstakingly pick 2 more out of the bunch, which means we're left with 5 bands. So we're going to do one last watch through of the original live videos that they sent in, and this time write down your very final scores on the 3 categories, and then we'll tally them up and we'll have our winners. Is that the plan? Are we happy?
That's the plan.
Alright, so we've watched them all again. We've got 5 left. It's time to tally up the scores. So remember those 3 criteria that we've been tallying on. Out of 30 points per person, out of 10 for stage presence, right, how they perform on stage, for getting the crowd just about the band's performance on stage. Secondly, out of 10, musicianship, so how well they play their instruments, are they playing in time, how tight they are as a band. And then finally, out of 10, songwriting, how well the songs are actually constructed, whether you like the time signature changes and the guitar solos and the drum fills and whatever else it might be. So tally it up and I'll collect up the sheets and we'll reveal the winners.
And it's when you're looking at like such a fine margin, and this is crunch time, you're trying to visualise those bands playing at a festival and in the warm-up slot, and it's hard to imagine, you know, some of them not doing that. It's really difficult to do.
Yeah, I think that's something we've considered before, isn't it? Out of the remaining bands, how difficult it is to choose. You know, how would each of them fit? Especially given the lineup as well, because they might fit better on Hammerdown 2023 rather than a 25. It's how do they fit with the lineup that we're putting them on? That, I don't know how much that affects everybody else's judgment, but I do think about it. It's tricky.
I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much to all 174 bands who entered this year. It has been the toughest year we've ever had. We started the day 6 hours ago with 10 bands. It's now dark outside and we've managed to whittle it down to the 3 winners. So in 3rd place, playing the Hammerdown Festival warm-up show on the 5th of July at the Factory Live is Those Made Broken.
And in 2nd place, playing the 2nd stage at Hammerdown Festival, is Monochrome.
Yes!
And in 1st place, playing the main stage at Hammerdown Festival this year, is Land Captain.
Yes! Well done, everyone. Thank you to everybody for being part of today. Thank you, everybody, for applying, and we'll see you in July. Go!